All right, good evening, folks. We're gonna go ahead and get this stream started a few minutes earlier than usual today. Gonna do some relaxing drifting out here at Seversky, and hope my power doesn't go out. You'll probably hear some thunder in the background. We've got a storm rolling through right now over here, so hopefully we should be good. So before we get out on the water here, let me see. It's kind of right in the middle of night, which is I have really bad luck about starting at night, which is kind of annoying because most of my rods are not set up for nighttime fishing. Let's see, let's get some spinner baits all set up here. I'll go with you. And you. And let's throw in a Quilo on there. Actually, we'll keep the spiker. So I'm going to do a little bit of just light trolling and drifting out here tonight. Nothing big, just relaxing mostly. And I wanted to check tickets. That's what I wanted to do. Seversky, looks like we should be good for tickets here. Before I leave, I want to go ahead and check the cafe orders, see if there's anything we might be able to hit. We might be able to pull off the Sitchel, not that it's worth much. Shad might be able to pull off. We usually get a lot of shad, which that one's not too bad. Doubt we'll get the roach, possibly the dace, but probably not. Might be able to get lucky. Man, if we can get the a 3 kilo pike, that's a really nice payout right there. So here's to hoping that works. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the boat and head up, and I'll just we'll just start at the top of the river and just drift our way on down to the ferry and see how we do. And I'm hopeful that apparently a couple of the species here, the pumpkin sun. Ooh, I need to buy a bigger boat ticket. I don't have the 2-day with the timing menu. But the pumpkin seed sunfish and the Sitchel supposedly have a larger average species size now and are supposed to be worth more at the fish market based on a recent patch. So I'm hoping that will work in our favor, since I do seem to get those two species pretty frequently when drifting out here. And now for the long ride up to the top of the river. No tea tonight. Had a late dinner, so didn't get a chance to brew some up before the stream. But that's the plan here tonight, is just drift on down using a few different spinner baits. Normally when I'm drifting out here, go control all this up, I seem to see the most action right here and right here. These two spots, these two stretches for kind of winds northeastward, seem to be the most common areas that I get fish on the when I'm trolling or drifting. So what I'll probably do is, if I hit those areas and the bite rates are pretty active, I'll probably stop and do some either circle the river or do some manual casting in those areas just to rack up some extra fish. These boats are so slow. Sounds like the thunder's worn off out here, so that's good. Just hoping it doesn't get any power loss or internet loss while I'm streaming, but if we do, it is what it is. Nature do what nature do. I kind of feel like the boats are faster than they used to be. Who knows? I did notice that in the patch notes there was something about the physics of the rod firmness that was changed, so that probably explains why I've been having those weird snapbacks with the lures when I'm trolling. We'll undoubtedly see some of that while we're out here, but I guess that's probably what was causing that, is whatever they changed in the update for it. just about to the end here, seeing the buoys up ahead. And once I go through, I'm also going to just double check and make sure some of my broadcasting settings are picking up correctly, because I did notice that my camera settings got reset at some point. Okay, looks like everything's good. So, go ahead and start turning the boat around and get some lines in the water. It is nighttime, so I'm not expecting too much right away. Finally made it, 8. Hey man, getting a shark right at level 34, that's the best way to start out there, isn't it? Alright, there we go. Stop the engine and pickles. There you go. I appreciate the follow there, DriftX97. Welcome to the stream. Let's see, so I did notice in the patch notes that engine noise affects fish when trolling more, but I guess we're drifting, so we don't need to worry about casting further out, I guess. But something to those that did not know that, they've made the engine sound when you're trolling affect shy fish species more, and the solution to that is just to cast further out from the boat while you're trolling. So I'd say maybe do like a clip of 18 or something like that. I don't know if anybody's pinpointed the number that works best yet. Resubscribe for 2 months. Appreciate it there, 8. And I was want to check those volume settings. That came through. I don't know if that came through out loud for anybody else, but that was blasting. I'll have to tone that down just a little bit. But appreciate the 2 months. There's our first shad and a spin fishing gain. I think that's just a few grams too small for the cafe order, though. Yeah, I'll want to make a note to myself real quick to adjust that audio setting after the stream, because that was a blast. Get my old notebook out here. So, catch anything nice besides the shark so far now that you're out there at 34? Go. Got my note to myself. $31 kilo cod. So have you noticed the, I guess, so I know they lowered the frequency of halibut. I think they said that they increased the frequency of cod, was it? I think we've got something on line 2 here. Pretty bad. They're not a very profitable fish, right? There's another ponded shad. So the shad are hitting right now. We just need to get some. I think the cafe order is for 129 gram. Like 3 of them. Let's see. I'm going to increase the clip on this a little bit. Okay, so they it's kind of like a stealth nerf then by making the cod more frequent, but not being worth much. It's nice to see that they're trying to do a few adjustments to the earlier maps to make the average fish size and value go up a little bit to both help out lower level players and also to, I guess, try to get some people to go beyond just spending all their time at Norway. As much as people love Norway, I suppose the devs want them to still visit the old areas too. At least until they get another map in. It is a good map for sure. I swear I have the worst luck. every time I keep hoping that the server restarts will bump the time in-game times back a little bit, but it's like with this time block, I seem to be doomed to always be starting the stream out at nighttime, which is not a great way to start any trolling or drifting stream. I still can't get over the change. I didn't see any notes about it in the patch notes, but they absolutely changed the amount of time you get at Quarry Lake for nighttime. It's literally only from like in-game time about 12:30 to 2 in-game. So you get like 3 minutes of nighttime there now, which I guess is probably supposed to simulate seasonal changes of it being like summertime. There's long days, short nights, but it was a shock to see that, to say the least. I was looking forward to doing some burbot and char fishing there. Yeah, I was there for just trolling around a couple days ago and noticed that it's there's just basically no nighttime at all. It seemed like I mean I got almost all of my fish were perch. I filled the fish net up and I think literally half of the net was perch. So it was a very unprofitable night. 100 fish and was only worth like 107 silver or something like that. But the bite rate was decent at least. Let's see. Am I getting drifted towards the river? Looks like it. I'm going to move the boat back towards the center here a little bit. I will say though that the Savon trout were a little more active than usual. I got like 4 of those in the time, and one of them was like a decent sized one. So that part was nice at least. Now we just need the sun to hurry up and come up so I can start getting some of these new fish. The main thing that attracted me back to here for tonight is that the patch notes mentioned the changes to the pumpkin seed sunfish and the Shemaya, which those are pretty rare, but those and the Sichel are supposed to be on average bigger and be worth more. So I'm hoping that I can make a little more money than I did the last couple times out here. Yeah, I've been hearing like they've been hearing that. I definitely noticed that when I was at I originally started my stream Saturday at Volkov and went through an entire in-game day and got like 7 or 8 fish. It was bad. So I went and moved to Quarry, and I mean the bite rate was good at Quarry, but it was mostly perch, so it wasn't very profitable. You have to get back to carp fishing soon. And my character's hunger is going down quick tonight for some reason. Carp are the best. Go after my good old grass carp boys. It seems like a lot of people are saying Winding Rivulet right now is a really good spot. I guess the Donnets have been really active there. I really want to get float fishing up to where I can use at least to get to match rods on them, and same with carp or bottom fish. I want to get to where I can use carp rods, but once you get to like 45%, they're just so slow to gain because you don't have those crazy bite rates with it from trolling options. So I've just barely been able to make progress on those 2 skills. I'm up to what 54.5 on bottom and 41.7 on float. Yeah, see where you're at, you can get them bumped up a little further pretty quickly, but yeah, it's just and float especially, like this is supposed to be a good float map, and I have had terrible luck float fishing here. But besides kind of the tip, same as Volkov here. If it's nighttime, the trolling and drifting is going to get pretty much nothing. So I'm just kind of waiting for the sun to come up right now. Hey, your marine's getting up there. Isn't 75%? Isn't that when the medium boat rods come out? Let's see. Here is medium boat rod. Yeah, so you're almost a medium boat rod. It's not too bad at all. I am surprised that they raised the price of the Model 1 in Super Duty. I'm glad I've got at least one of my Model 1s already. I don't know how big of a price increase they did on it, but I guess that was kind of a way to try and steer people from using the same two rods for everything. Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people I've seen talk about the boat rods. They just skip the light boat rod because you get, I guess, there's not a huge enough difference between the light boat rod and a perking rod as far as how effective they are. And then just because you go up so fast with the marine fishing, they just wait and go straight for the medium, especially as expensive as those things are, too. Where are we at on the river here? Come up through. So the sun's starting to come up, and this is one of the more active areas. So hopefully we can start getting some bites on here. Move back towards shoreline a little bit. It's going to drift us kind of in that direction. There we go. Oh, you're going for the Paternoster rig setup? That makes sense. I did notice when I was on my second trip out to the Norwegian Sea, I switched from using the perking rod to using a just a straight fillet rig, and I was catching a much broader range of species that way. Even got a little porbeagle on there with the rental gear, which was nice. All right. Come on, fish, wake on up. The sun's out now. You can go on after my lures. There's a few cafe orders I'm hoping to be able to get on here. There's a Pontic shad, a Sitchell, which I should be able to get. If I can get lucky and get at least a 3 kilo pike on the way through here, there's a really good order out on the cafe right now that's 143 silver for that. So if anybody knows a really good spot for pike on Seversky, let me know, and I might try and target farm that spot to try to fill that cafe order. So you got the Greenland shark on the Paternoster. Was the one you got worth a good bit of silver at least? The old European hockey. Yeah, I know that's not how it's pronounced, but here we call them the hockeys. $200. That's not too shabby for your first day at level 34. Getting one of those. All right, I'm gonna try just to mix things up. I'm gonna try a different lure on here. Throw it a kilo on here just to see. Since the other two are, well, one is a Christmas snowflake lure, one's a spiker. So, yep, there we go. Fish on already. Little perch. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of frame rate reduction right now. It's a bit weird. There we go. Got something on that line as well. There's a sunfish, 152 gram, not too shabby. So I might actually, since I haven't got anything on the snowflake yet, let me change it over to a just a black spinnerbait and see if it gets anything on there. Go. At least the sun's coming out now, so we're starting to get some activity. I'm interested to see, since the average size of the pumpkin seed sunfish was increased with the patch. I wonder if we're going to get. I wonder if they also increased like the size you have to get for it to be a chat size, or if it's still the same. Here's a nice little Volgazander. All right, so if we don't get anything on that black spinner bait, might try some other options on there, since these two seem to be hitting stuff decently enough. We're getting a little bit out of the deep part, so I might have to reposition a little bit here shortly. We're heading straight towards that patch of grass up ahead. Got something on line two again. Another sunfish, it looks like. Yep, 79 gram. I might actually try on this line, instead of having it just drift, I might actually just get rid of the clip on here and just do some manual reeling with it, see if we can attract some species that way. I think we finally got something on line one. Another sunfish. All right. Ooh, 298. That's a chunky one there. Yeah, if anybody knows where I can get some pike out here, I definitely want to try to target one of those 3 kilo ones for the cafe order. I'm going to go ahead and back the boat back in towards the center real quick. There we go. That's going to get a little bit awkward, but I can live with it. Got a fish on here. Hey, there's a good, that's a one, I think it's, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 pontic shad that are like 129 gram or larger. That's the cafe order. It's not too shabby a cafe order either. I think it was like 32 silver. Hopefully we can hit that one. Got something on line too. So that's one thing I really like about Seversky here. Once you get to the active spots, like it's just the fish hit so fast. There's a little asp. A lot of times you don't even have time to get your third line out on the water between the other two. Yeah, I'm gonna try just doing some manual fishing with this line, see if we can maybe lure some pike or something that way. Probably got my retrieval speed up a little too high there. All right, got something on line one again. Hey, there's a pike. Ah, needs you to be like just over half a kilo larger there, Mr. Pike. Give me that 140 silver cafe order. All right, let's bring this retrieval speed down to like 15. We can get a some sort of motion on this. Maybe just stop and go, speed up on. Might not be able to get much out of this because this lure is way too light for this this rod, so this may not work. I just have to let it drift instead. So we'll just let it drift then, since I can't get much of a cast distance on it. Ooh. All right, we got a big boy on line too, it looks like. What we got on here? Another pike. Come on, come on. Ah, 2 kilo. Well, the pike are hitting at least, so maybe we'll get lucky and pull one in that's 3 kilo that can complete that cafe order. Yeah, I don't know why my hunger rate's going down so fast out here. A little odd. Slowly drifting right along. Might need to. I'm gonna reposition to try to get it up around that 6 meter hole when we drift past this spot. Back over to this side of the water. Supposedly, chubs went up quite a bit in price as well, which is nice. So we got a pumpkin seed on here. Yep, another little 106 gram. And this 6 meter hole here, I think, is a decent spot at nighttime for burbot, and at some point, I think probably during the day, sturgeon, possibly. And line 2 again. Another pike. 1.6. Okay, so the pike are going after this spiker, so I might try putting a spiker on this line. See if we can't get one of those pike that are big enough for that cafe order. If we can do that, we'll be sitting pretty. 143 silver for one fish. I'll take that. What are we up to? We're up to 13 fish so far. Not too bad, not too bad. Especially considering the first like 10, 12 minutes was nighttime where we weren't able to get more than like 2 fish. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nope. The only downside of this, of drifting versus trolling on here, is that the boat kind of naturally rotates whatever direction it wants, which can sometimes be a little awkward to deal with. I'm curious though, so before the recent patch, I would tend to have better bite rate if I was trolling rather than drifting. But with the changes made to shy fish being more scared of the boat noise, I wonder if that would still be the case. Maybe we'll try it. Hey, Tasty. Been going pretty well. Just a nice relaxing day out here on Seversky, doing a little was doing drifting, but I'm actually just about to try trolling with the new changes to see if I can find a good good line length to go for. How are you doing? You still fishing out here at Seversky? Have you moved on to another map? Let's turn around. All right, so with this new system, I guess I'm just going to get rid of the line clip altogether since these are not properly tested set up. Cast as far out as I can. I'm hoping to get a at least a 3 kilo pike out here because there's a cafe order for that right now that's like 143 silver. Went out to Amber Lake, very nice, getting some nice carp out there. Okay, so let's try doing a little bit of trolling, see if we have a better bite rate. Yeah, I want to try out here because supposedly the recent patch increased the average size and value of the sichel and the pumpkin seed sunfish, so I figured I'd see if it made it a little more worth it. Always say, see, when it's just a few grams, the trick is you just take some extra ground bait you've got laying around, stuff it in the fish's gullet while the judges aren't looking, right? That's all you gotta do. A little bit of key action here. I don't know. I'm concerned that this boat noise is probably too detrimental given the new changes. That's right, some of these hooks are so big, yeah, leaving them in might do the trick. All right, let's get back towards the center here. Go back to just drifting. I'll tell you what though, if you need any perch to use as live bait, freaking quarry the other night, full keep net, half of it was perch. They are going crazy over there. So far, this hasn't been too bad. I've got came pretty close on one of the pikes so far, almost 2.5 kilo. I just needed another 0.6 kilo on there, and I could get that cafe order. But there's an order for sichel and pontic shad that I'm hoping to fill as well. I feel like for trolling and drifting out here, that's the best hope you've got at making a reasonable amount of profit is being able to fill those cafe orders. Apparently, this location on the map is known as the Witch Forest. All right. It doesn't seem like much of a forest, but I'll take their word for it. Maybe that's the secret. The witch casts a spell on the forest, so it just kind of looks like a meadow. Makes sense. That's what I'm going with. All right, I'm going to reposition a little bit, and I'm going to try casting up along this grass here to try to get some pike. All right, got something to hit right away there. A little perch. Sounded like something's flopping around. Yep, got something on line one. Yeah, there's a little chub. So 20. So yeah, that's what the with the engine on. I assumed it'd probably be at like at least 18 meters or something. But yeah, 2025. That could be it. And that's probably a way that they're getting. If I had to guess, based on the fact that they also increased the price of the Model 1 and the Super Duty, they're probably trying to get people to use properly tested, or properly weighted tackle on their trolling rods, because all of us kind of figured out that if you're trolling, you can cast a tackle that's too light or too heavy for your rod, because it doesn't really matter. Now that you need to actually get some distance between you and the boat, definitely makes a difference. But I'm hoping they made sure the coating accounted for drifting not having the motor on. So so far, I mean, it's not a super bite rate compared to usual out here, but I'm still catching stuff, so I'm assuming that they did that correctly. Yeah, that's just my theory on why they did the boat change, is try to get people to get proper equipment for their rods when they're doing trolling, instead of just getting something cheap. That's a little tiny 10-gram clupinella. I think my lure's almost heavier than that. Hopefully I can caught 3 pikes so far. They've been decent size, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to snag one big enough to fill the cafe order here. Here's another Pontic shad. I think I need one more decent Pontic shad, and I can fill that cafe order, which was like 32 silver, I think. So we got something online too. Looks like a Volgazander. Yep. Not too shabby. Alright, surely this grass is a prime spot to find some pike. Oh, maybe not. I'm guessing that the patch changed for the physics of the rods is why I'm getting those weird snapping situations. There's a perch. Yeah, that's true. I guess you could just leave let the line stay open and go out that way. Takes a little more time though. If you've got a high bite rate, that extra time is probably noticeable, having to wait for it to go out behind you, especially if you're doing an area without much current to it. Another sunfish. I just feel like it's a minor thing, but it does seem like maybe that's the direction they're trying to push players towards with, because I think they kind of realize that the mid game is basically get some HSVs and Model 1s and troll, and that's all you ever need. So they're probably trying to encourage a little more variety, if I had to guess. All right, come on out, Pike. Bring one of your big boys. Nope, nothing yet. Nothing yet, all right. Wonder if going against the current might be the better option here and casting out that direction. I wish I was high enough spin fishing to be able to use wacky rigs. I know those are kind of the best option out here. Still got about, what, 7% to go? 7.5% spin fishing to go before I can do that. some point I do want to pick up some topwater lures to try. Even though I know they're typically only for like Yama, from what I understand, but I noticed at least at Quarry, which reminds me, I might actually take a look here. I noticed at Quarry when I was there Saturday, the lures that things were hitting on were very atypical for Quarry. So maybe we'll check and see what things are doing here. Yeah, it looks like it's still mostly the same tackle here at least. Yeah, when I was at Quarry, like the stuff that was on the weekly records was lures that I'd never seen showing up on the records there before. You've got some pikers. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Like for pike, especially going along those weeds, being such a predator fish, I feel like some topwaters might be worth it to invest in one at some point. Yeah, like the even like some weird minnows and stuff were dominating the weekly records at Quarry, and like black and red lures, things of that sort that I typically don't see out there. Which wasn't great for me because I did not have any of those lures. Cross some more grass here, maybe we'll pick up another pike. Definitely slow. I mean, usually I've had much better bite rates out here, so I'd say it is less active than usual for sure. Hoping usually when I get Sichel, it's up around this area. Hey, Hiko, been a while. How's it going? Doing a little relaxed Seversky trolling tonight. The balsam minnows. Yeah, and I did see like some balsam minnows showing up for even the trout on the Quarry weeklies, but usually when I'm out there, if I use even just using my regular spinners, along the grass on the cove in the western part of Quarry is where I tend to catch a lot of pike. So imagine going there with a topwater would be pretty good. Oh, nice. Been trying out the new class one there. The what is it, the Arcanist? Appreciate the hair compliment. Is this going to be it? Ah, still 2 kilo. Come on, we need a 3 kilo pike for the cafe order. Got something online too there. Oh, you don't have Necrom yet? Okay. Yeah, I played ESO for a little while. Probably, it's been almost 2 years now. So it's got some neat features in it. Get a lot of the veteran trials and stuff. You haven't looked up? I guess they have a lot of like buffs and debuffs or something like that, don't they? I haven't looked up what their skills are. I played a Nightblade myself. There's a Rudd, and there was a weird. I don't know if anybody heard that sound from the game. It sounded like a dying cat. What was that? Ooh, what do we have here? That's a decent little Xander. Bird hit my the tip of my rod flying by. You know, speaking of flying things in weird situations, I don't for the life of me have any idea what the story behind it is, but when I pulled my car out of my garage today, I noticed something on the ground, so I got out and went up and took a look at it. There was a dead bat underneath where my car was in the garage, so I have no clue. Like, was it perched under my car? What? How did it get there? What's going on? I was so confused. Weird situation. It wouldn't be so. My garage is no. They wouldn't be able to get a cat in. The garage door stays closed. So, and my cats are indoor. Don't have any outdoor ones around here that would be able to get into it. I just and it was like directly under where, and it didn't look like there was any signs of the on the body that was attacked. It looked like it just died of because it's been so hot. It probably just died from the heat inside the garage because it was kind of like dried out and stuff. But it's weird. Yeah, well, I have had about probably a decade ago. I was getting ready to go work out, and I walked by and saw in my out of the corner of my eye something looked odd on my one of my cabinets in my kitchen. So I was like, what is that? So I walked up, looked a little closer, and there was a bat just perched hanging out off of my kitchen cabinet, taking a nap. So I went and robed up, got some big gloves and a towel, and snuck up and grabbed the bat and took it outside. But it was that was a fun day. He'll come and eat it and get the get the rat brains everywhere though. I have to clean up after him. So on one hand, I like that MDog's in-game chat has been fixed to where we can see each other's fish now, but I feel like they could probably get rid of like the consuming tea and eating and stuff messages for those chat channels. I don't need to see all the tea being drunk in the world. Oh, there's a setting to do that? I'll have to look into that. Well, there we go. The devs were one step ahead of me. Yeah, aside from R4, so you've been playing ESO, any other games you've been playing, or just primarily ESO? I've actually been some friends of mine have gotten into Monster Hunter Sunbreak, so I pulled out my old Monster Hunter stuff and been playing with them a lot. Here's all right, so I should be able to fill the Ponic Shad Cafe order, so that's good. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's about over 300 because I know he had like 370-ish before. But once he split those channels up, everything seems to have fixed itself. So Demonologist, that's kind of like Phasmophobia type of game, right? Where you're going and like investigating an area with a team to try and find what's haunting the area or whatever. I've been unimpressed with this year's summer sale on Steam. Speaking of games, I picked up the Fishing Baron Strait to see if it's any good, and picked up Valheim, and that's really all I saw that was of any interest to me on the Steam summer sale. Usually there's some good stuff, but just nothing. Just seems very lackluster this year. We have a map here, right? Oh, it was made by a Phasmo dev. Didn't even know that. Remember seeing some screenshots of it when I was browsing the featured items. There's our first Ide of the day. I'd always look so much chubbier than their weight suggests. They're deceptively lightweight. I played a little bit of Phasmo. You haven't tried, obviously, Demonologist. I think there's a couple more light in that vein that I've seen as well. There's Perch. Yeah, I remember you. I think we had talked about it previously, and I saw that it got on sale, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Haven't downloaded it yet, but got it on reserve to try, see if it's something to be. from the screenshots, it looks like it could be an interesting one for streaming because it seems to have a lot of downtime, which I like because I can focus on chatting with viewers and everything. So have it on the back burner there. I think we've got something on line one. What do you guys think of the new fish on indicators compared to having to hit R to see it like we used to? Ships at sea, so I guess they're going, ooh, there's a spin fishing game. I guess they're going to expand to areas beyond just icy cold water around Alaska. Here's a perch. Yeah, the sea like is kind of it's probably especially good there because the trick there was up pretty much to like set your clip to like 250 or so that way if it gets a bite while it's going down you'd know right away. Yeah, they've got the bite indicators like the audible ones for feeder fishing. I'd agree, like it'd be nice to be able to add them on for other types of setups as well, especially like float fishing. That's something that even in real life they have bobbers equipped with alarms on them. So it'd be nice to be able to get some bobbers like that for float fishing on here. Come on, pike. Just give me 1 3 kilo pike. That's all I'm asking for. Because that'll be enough money to make it all worth. Yeah, the ding sound was it's a nice feeling to see that little red pop up and like, aha, I've got something on. Speaking of, what's going on here, 8? You got a fish got away. I'm gonna have to put you on the spot here and call you out. Can't be letting him get away. Yeah, I agree, Tasty. Like it's good to have, even for accessibility reasons, like having both an audio and a visual cue was way to go. See, the fish know, wait, they know that you're distracted, so they're gonna take advantage of it. But because there was a game that I was going to try doing it for streaming, but I'm going to end up probably just doing edited YouTube videos for it, Mortal Online 2, with its fishing system. And what I learned when streaming it is that there's no visual indication whatsoever that you got a fish on. It's purely sound. So like you've got to really be paying attention to the volume. So not having a visual indicator and only audio indicator is not good. They really need to have both. That's what I learned from that experiment. Back out in the middle of the water here. See, I'm drifting and I feel like I'm drifting because I'm going sideways. All the Tokyo racers will be so proud of me. Oh yeah, where are we at? About 2/3 of the way through. Keep nets a little bit empty. Not the best bite rate. I know last time we were here it was actually a pretty solid bite rate the whole way. All right, I think there's something going on this line. Well, whatever it is, it's not a fish. Yeah, Yes, I find this side of like this area, I seem to get Sitchel, but not much else. But I'm okay with that because there is a cafe order for Sitchel tonight. Hopefully, we can fill that in as well. Fish on. Got another little tiny Pontic shad. So far, none of the, I know the perch order this up is like they're almost 1 kilo perch, so I don't think we're gonna get that one. But we definitely have the Pontic shad. We've got some time. We may be able to get the what is it? The not the Shemaya, one of the other ones. There's one of those out there, but my big one that I'm hoping to get is the 3 kilo pike, because if we can get that, that's 132 silver. That's a really good cafe order for this map. And another eye. That's a tiny eye right there. Let's see. Starting to get close to night. Anybody know of a good spot around here that's good for some float fishing at night? Since drifting is kind of dead while the sun set, I figure it might be worth trying to do a little bit of float fishing until the sun comes up. Because I have not yet figured out the secret to float fishing on this map. Everywhere I've tried has been kind of not fruitful. I know up in this area here, I've had some luck feeder fishing for carp, but there's a lot of snag spots out there, and I loathe getting snags. Have been since the patch. I imagine in general, like just casting some stuff along some of this algae's got to be at least somewhat useful. Got a little bit of daylight left here, so let's go and just get away from these fallen trees here and try a spot. Let's just pull up on shore here and pull out the old telescopic. And I guess I can't get out here. All right, let's try to find a different spot I can maybe go on shore. Make sure there's no fish on the lines here. Clear. Here we go. This looks like a good spot to go ashore. There we go. So yeah, I figure casting around these algae and fallen branches, there's got to be something that'll bite. What's the depth looking like? Probably pretty shallow, I guess. Maybe like half a meter. So I will. Rough should be around the shore. Okay, I'll show some basic worms out. And in about 30 seconds here, we're going to have a little ad break. This is just to prevent pre-roll ads for an hour. We'll be continuing fishing through the break, and those of you that are subscribers appreciate the support. You'll have no ads. For everyone else, we'll be here when the ads are over. Go ahead and get this set up in the meantime. I think we're going to need a leader. Size 19. Let's go to size 22. Put some mayflies on. Down to half a meter here. Let's see. Yeah, there's probably need to keep it a little more shallow than that, and I'll just cast it to the left and let it drift. See what we can get. Try the mayfly for a couple casts. If nothing nothing takes, we'll try switching to worms. There's a weird ambient sound out here. I don't know if it's picking up through the stream audio, but it sounds like someone's blowing into like a glass bottle in the distance. Creepy. Weird sounds out here on the Seversky River. Nothing picking up yet. Let's switch over to let's try bloodworms. See if those do a little better. Not that far. There we go. We'll just looks like this thing's caught on something. Let me try recasting. We'll just do a little bit of float fishing until the sun starts coming back up, and then we'll get back out to continue drifting on down in the boat. But as with most maps, trolling at night is just kind of pointless. Well, that floats on down. I'm going to check the weeklies for. Let's try the cichlids. They're going on maggots, it looks like. Okay. Maybe we'll try putting some maggots on here, see if we can get some of those, because I know there's a cafe order for them. Anybody have a suggestion on hook size for those? I've got a size 22 on right now. And also depth. I don't know if they're going to be deep or more towards the surface. This is like 75 centimeters. It's still hard to find resources on float fishing because most people just don't enjoy doing it. So there's just not a lot of documentation in it. Size 24 up to 18. All right. Ooh, ooh. There we go. We got something. There's a rough. Little tiny rough. I can't remember what the order for the sichel is, but I know there was one. If there's rough hitting on maggot, I may upsize this to a size 19 hook to try to target some larger one of those. Might even try throwing some flies out, see if because I know there's a dace order and also a gudgeon order. So we might be able to fill those in while it's nighttime. Let's try that. Let's put some flies on. See what we can get. So I think the dace order is just like 2 dace, 60 gram. So if they're biting, it should be pretty easy to get. And as far as the map goes, we are on this bend on the eastern side. Float on, bobber, float on. Find me a nice fish. There's no eel on this river, right? No eel. Right now I have the float depth at 75 centimeters. Might be, it's so hard to tell. Like, this one has such a steep drop off right there. Might be able to go down to a meter. Let's try it. That's true. I guess dace and gudgeon are going to be more shallow. Let's pump that up to. Let's go 35. Try to get some of them surface ones there. I'm used to going after them on winding rivulet where the water itself is only like a meter deep. 18 to 45 for Dace and Bleak. Gonna mute myself for a moment. I think I got a sneeze coming on here. False alarm, false alarm. See if anything picks up. We got a little bit longer till sun starts to come back up. So hoping we can get some sigil between here and the ferry, so we can turn in the cafe order for that. Right, let's try bringing it a little bit shallower. What are the telescopic on those right now? Days. There we go. Well, they're using mayfly, so I have a few of those. We'll put them back on. I'm hoping I need to do some research on the Sura River, since it's supposed to be good for spinning and tackle fishing. Should be interesting. This one's got 5-star for float fishing, but I have found float fishing to honestly be the least fruitful of the fishing types here. I feel like the map information is a lie. Something taking a bite. You're fine. You go back to what we were catching stuff on. Also adjust the depth. Well, nothing else. At least we got one rough over here float fishing. A little bit of tea here. I need to cast it out just a little bit further. The storms in my area must have passed, because I'm hearing people launching fireworks for the 4th of July festivities. Replace thunder with fireworks. Yeah, so what I have found with a lot of, especially for anything that's not their Norwegian Sea, most of the video guides are from like 2 years ago that I find, and so much has changed since then on these maps that I just tend to find that they haven't been super relevant. But I do know there's the VK or ZK, whatever it is, basically the Russian Facebook that everyone suggests looking for hotspots on. Personally, I like to try to find more of like the general strategy for a fish, though, rather than like the exact spot. And there's not a lot of relevant recent information in those regards that I've been able to find. For example, stuff like, if you're going for grass carp, look for, well, grass or algae, and use these baits, and one of them is usually going to work. That kind of thing is always good to find. I like to take that approach to the game rather than try to find the most active spot and active bait. I kind of just want to fish around with some general knowledge and see what I can get. But there definitely seems to be the following for this game seems to be really big over there in Germany, because because I know right now it's like 3, 4 in the morning over there, and a pretty large percentage of my viewers tend to be German, despite the time slot, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I've looked at and what's it's sad that you can't get that information when you haven't caught species before. But for those that aren't aware of that, if you have a fish in your net, you can pick up and get some sort of generic information. And some fish they do a pretty good job of giving an idea of what to look for. Like this one, let's see, it like waters a body with sandy ground and silted bottom. Gives you an idea of sort of what to look for, what to use, worms, stuff like that. There are some fish species I've caught that like the information is fairly, it doesn't really go into detail about its habitat or food preferences though, so it's not 100% useful, but it does give an idea at least. That's the key right there. He could be the first one. I mean, the real secret though is always going to be bleak. You just go after bleak, you'll always win. That's why when I'm on Volkov, I use three different color uh, lurkers, or not lurkers, the snatchers when I'm out there, and I just see kind of which one is most active and try to put two of those out instead of one. When you get to when you're at least adding a few different colors, you get to see what's more active than others at the time. Problem is that lures and such are so expensive that you can't really afford early on to just have a full tackle box to try that everywhere. Very nice. Weekly lake trout, I'm sure, was worth a pretty penny too. Yeah, that's that is the difficulty of trying to experiment with baits and lures is, and that's sort of the same reason I haven't gotten really into much of boilie and pop up fishing for carp. Is it's just so costly to have a tackle full of those. Like if it was a case where this lake you can get this flavor of boilie, this flavor of dip, and it's always going to be at least decent. That'd be one thing, but like with those in particular, week to week, it's very different on what the fish are biting, and I don't make the kind of silver you need to keep up with those kind of habit changes, which is why I like grass carp and common carp. You throw a potato or a piece of algae out there, they're probably going to be going after it. Well, at least we caught one fish on this telly rod here. At least we got one. Sun should be just about coming up though, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back onto the boat and start get it back out to the middle to do some more drifting here. Boy, I've really got this sucker up on the shoreline there. Yeah, I think there from what others have mentioned when I talked about the Adriatica in the past, it does seem like the lighter setups do have like a hidden mechanic of higher bite rate. Um, and especially if you're using like ultralight setups and things of that nature. That's also why if you have three reels out on the line, it seems like they always go for the lightest reel. Yeah, those boils and pops, it gets like, and you don't get a whole lot of bait for them. You pay like 60 silver and get 25 bait. Like that's nothing. You better hope that those fish you catch on there are big fish, or it's just a waste. Maybe that's something they need to work on expanding the crafting system on is getting the ability to make your own pop-ups and boilies and stuff like that. There's a little asp. Which, I mean, that's, in my opinion, I still firmly believe that expanding the crafting systems and adding more crafting systems is definitely a route the devs should take in the game, because that, I'm sure, takes less coding effort. I mean, it definitely takes less overall development effort than like new bodies of water or new fish, because like you think about the fish, you've got to program in all of its habitats, preferences, the weighted tables for where you can catch it, when you can catch it, what it will bite on, and then even just having to do the models for the fish. I'm sure the crafting is much easier for them to implement new skills for, and I'd love to see those expanded, because it's what really, like, it's the one most unique factor of Russian fishing compared to all of its competition. And being able to make your own pop-ups and boilies would be great. Just kind of take like some of the same, like with the like they already have the flavor additives, for example, from making ground baits. Just expand on that a little bit and add the option to make your own boilies and all that. A little chub, which I guess chub are another one of the species that they are supposed to be worth more since the patch. That one's so small that I don't think we'll see much of a difference, but it is good to know, because some days you'll get some chunky chubs, so it'd be nice if they're worth more. They are, yeah. They are they worth like noticeably more, or is it like a, well, if it was worth 5 silver before, it might be worth 5.1 silver now. We have something on line one. Yeah, we got something on line one. Another perch. Got something on line two now. Come on, give me a nice 3 kilo pike so I can fill that cafe order, please. Please, Seversky. Looks like a shad. Yep, little tiny ponic shad. Morning bite rates here now. I think I actually need to recast this one. I think I loaded in a little bit too close when I hit the wrong rod there. Okay, that's a pretty decent increase. For I mean, 80 silver for a chub, even though it is a trophy, but that's a 13 silver increase for a trophy. Pretty good. I haven't checked, so I didn't notice a difference on Volkov. Has anybody noticed a difference on length of night and time of night on any lakes besides Quarry? Because the Quarry has absolutely changed in that regard. Going straight for the shoreline, back out to the middle. Bleak and Dace have seen the eye. Well, I like to hear that, because bleak are the best fish. I don't care what anyone says. Those little guys are the best. Because yeah, Quarry now you get like 3 minutes of nighttime. So I haven't noticed it on here. I definitely didn't notice it on Volkov's, but well, see, the problem with rough Hiko is they've got those sharp spines, so you know they might poke you. You gotta be careful. 67 for a dace. That's pretty good. Yeah, I can imagine those spines would punch right through your hand if you pick them up the wrong way. The Pontic Shed. Looks like there's maybe something on this line. Yeah. There's sunfish. All right, so it looks like this side of the river is the active side today. Yeah, some of those spine fish, man, they can really put a hurting on you if they stick you with those. And then obviously you have like lionfish and stonefish. Those are definitely some spines you don't want to get pooped by. Bleak trophies have doubled. Man, I'm about to make it back out to Winding Rivulet if that's the case. Go load up on some bleak and dace. Buy a nice little lodge on quarry from it all. All right, where you at, Pike? Need to wake up. We okay. All right, come on, Current. Work with me here. Don't push me into the shoreline. That makes sense. That you are the local Belaya guy. What do we got here? What do we got? Nothing on that one. I thought there was. $200, $300 silver just with, man, that is, especially at Winding Rivulet, that is nice because like, you go there right at the docks by the fish market, like you can catch all those small fish left and right. My hunger rate is going crazy. I'll have to give Winding Rivulet another try soon. See how good it is with all these changes. Plus, you know, can't go wrong with catching some zebra mussels and river mussels. Which, speaking of zebra mussels, I saw an article lately or recently that they've started showing up, and they're an invasive species in I want to say one of the Great Lakes, I think, is where the article was talking about, where they've been having a huge issue with zebra mussels rolling in, which is interesting. It's crazy how they're showing some underwater pictures of it, and those things, like, certainly see why they're considered an invasive species. They are just clumped up, and like it looks like thousands and thousands of them just lining the bottom of the lake bed. Pretty crazy. Got something on line one. Little perch there. Still hoping to get that 3 kilo pike. But it seems like most of the pike right now are hitting up in this little stretch around the docks. So I don't know if we'll get any down here or not, but that cafe order sure would be nice. So we got a decent asp. Yep, 1.5 kilo asp on there. Pretty decent bite right now. Up to 44 fish in the keep net. Not too shabby. Coming up along the campsite here. And I think something's on line one now. Let's reel this in and find out. Yep. It's definitely nice having that little indicator when you're kind of keep the middle of it when you're juggling multiple lines for trolling, because you don't have to hit that R right away. You can just see immediately if there's fish on by looking at that new indicator. Line 2 is active now. There's our first taran of the night. Yes, I don't know if those are pronounced taran or taran. Maybe they're taran. Taran. They're just making an 80s pop group down under the water. All right, so we're getting pretty close to the ferry here, so we're gonna have to go back to the old shortcut back up to the docks. Hey, Furious. It's nice and relaxing. The it's not the highest bite rate I've had out here at Seversky, but it's still been pretty decent and got at least one cafe order I can fill. I'm hoping to be able to pull out a 3 kilo pike because there's a cafe order to turn in one of those that's like 132 silver. But it's been pretty decent. We got 48, and as you can see, like down here, it's a very active bite rate right now. Where are you fishing tonight? There's shad. Haven't gotten any citral yet, which is unusual. Usually you get a few of those along here. Cast along. If I reel along this grass, that might give me my best shot at getting one of those larger pike. If you hear any noises in the background, I've got some people around here shooting off fireworks right now, so I might be picking some of those up. Catching some Oldberg bream. They biting pretty actively out there right now. Yeah, it's been a lot of areas seem to be a little bit dead right now, but I'm not convinced they're dead though. I think that there's another little chub there. I think that there's just been a really drastic change in the fish preferences because I noticed at Quarry, I looked at the weekly records, and the lures that were showing up on there are lures I've never seen showing up in the past 2 months at Quarry. So I'm wondering if it's less a case that all the bodies of water are dead and more that it's just going to take a completely different tackle than people are used to using at them. But that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. It's just hard to tell what it is when you don't have the silver to have a full tackle box. Yep. Got fish on here. Another chub. Well, the chub are biting pretty decently over here right now, which is good since their price has increased. Got something on line too. Good old cottage cheese. You serving up a whole buffet for him there, Captain Fierce? Give him a little bit of give him some lettuce, the cottage cheese. Maybe throw some dough balls out for him. Those bream eat better than we do sometimes, I think. Another chub. All right, Current. You're taking me right through the grass here. It's not appreciated. Ooh, that's a big perch there, looks like. Yeah. I know there was a cafe order for some perch over 900 gram, but I think it was for like 4 of them. So now I'm going to be able to fill that out. All right, let's get out of the grass here. So if you haven't been out to a quarry lately, Furious, they've changed the nighttime out there. It's basically only nighttime from like in game 12:30 to 2. So you get like 3 minutes of night. Good for trolling though. Bad if you wanted to do burbot or char fishing. Oh no! You see, you definitely want to throw cabbage out on old bird. You got to take risks. There's nothing like throwing some cabbage out there on an Adriatica reel and spending an hour bringing in that 15 kilo grass carp. It's the best. Looks like you're getting quite a few chat marker bream out there, though. Seems like it's going to be pretty profitable for you. Yeah, when I was out there Saturday, the bite rate was really good. The problem was that it was almost all perch. I had a full keep net, and I think 49 of the fish in there were perch, and they weren't big perch. So my whole keep net was worth like 107 silver, I think. Terrible. But again, I think it's probably more of a case of not using the right bait. What's that? Is there a stop sign in the middle of nowhere there? All right, it's interesting. Kind of want to go try and check that out. Non-stop green, that's pretty good. Diced taters and algae, that's the best one out there. All right, so we're about to get to the end of the river here, so I'm going to do a little teleport back up to the old docks here. Yeah, Oldberg, the Seversky Donets River, I think I really like for the variety of fish and the scenery, but for fishing itself, Oldberg is still my favorite because it's basically never dead. You can always do well at Oldberg. I'm trying to do a quick put the main menu here to get back to the town without having to drive the boat up there. But yeah, that's what I love about Oldberg. Like it's always going to treat you well. Some days more so than others, but even on a bad day at Oldberg, you can catch fish. So it's still so far my favorite. I feel like so many of the bodies of water after Oldberg is just like, well, if you're not at the active spot with the correct bait, you aren't catching anything. But that's also why I'm kind of liking the Donets River here, is that at least for the drifting, stuff's always going to be biting pretty much. Let's go ahead and check these cafe orders out. There we go. I'm getting stomach situal. Okay, so we definitely have the Ponic shad, so that's an easy 32 silver there. Didn't get any roach. Yeah, it's the perch. There's 5 of them for that. This is the one okay, it's 2. I thought it was only 1, so that's probably less realistic. I'm surprised I didn't get any Sitchel on that run. Normally I get a few of those, but got the 32 silver from the Ponic shad, which is nice. And let's see what we've got for everything else. Go and do this. So total keep net 135. So that was about an hour and a half, which about 20 minutes of that was nighttime, which I wasn't catching anything on. So we can round it down to just over an hour with the cafe order, 160 silver, not too shabby. So here's what I wanted to see. So the sunfish were one of the species that got boosted in the patch. And if we look at those, that's, yeah, I mean, any of them, they have a marker. I mean, that's 5, 8, 15 silver, and those are pretty common here. So that's a really positive change for Seversky Donets. Hey, Hapaisha. Thank you for the bits. How you doing tonight? Let's see. So the other one, the chub got boosted as well. Not as noticeable. So I've heard the trophy chub have gone up quite a bit, but the regular chub are still about where they were before. Not a huge difference there, but this sunfish change is huge. I think people may be sleeping on Seversky Donets with that change. So not too bad at all, though. 160 silver for a little over an hour on the river, just doing some light drifting. I'll take that. But just crawled out of the lake. It's too late to be in the lake there, but jeez. Sounds nice, though. But with that being said, I think I'm going to get ready to wrap up the stream here, since it's taking me forever to get back up there with the boat and drift back down anyways. But it was pretty good to see these new changes in the new lower level species. I like that they made those changes. Definitely try this again soon. And I will see everyone next time. Have a good night. Those of you over in Europe, have a good morning and good rest of your day. And tight lines, good fishing, and I will catch everybody next time. All good, Furious. We'll see you around some more, I'm sure. So take it easy, folks. You did say hydrate. I'll refresh before leaving to show that hydrating up here. There you go.